What's up? Um, so I'm a man of cartoons myself. I know a lot of them. But one thing I know is that Cartoon Network solos Nickelodeon, bro. Like, come on, bro. Nickelodeon has so many trash sitcoms and a bunch of brain rot shows, but there's some good in Nickelodeon, like SpongeBob, Rugrats, Rocco's Modern Life. But then you got terrible shows like Fanboy and Chum Chum and Breadwinners and Sante and Craig over here ruining that Nickelodeon, bro. And honestly, it's kind of a roller coaster because sometimes they come out with bangers, sometimes they don't. But now we looking at the worst area of Nickelodeon, the Nickelodeon I grew up on, bro. Like when Fairly Odd Parents was falling off. Yeah, that's what I grew up on. I ain't grew up when Fairly Odd Parents was good. I actually watched those episodes on Netflix. It's a banger. The first three seasons are bangers, bro. But then it starts falling off, bro. But yeah, that's just how Nickelodeon was in the 2010s, bro. Terrible, bro. And then you have a lot of bad sitcoms like Henry Danger, trash. The Thundermans, trash. Um, Pretty much any Nickelodeon sitcom was pretty bad, unless it's like Drake and Josh or iCarly. But I'm gonna stop yapping and just start the video.
Nickelodeon has been loved by all ages for decades. Since releasing the first three Nicktoons in the early 90s, Nickelodeon has become known as a predominantly cartoon channel. The 90s are revered as the golden age of cartoons, then the 2000s being a noteworthy successor that definitely started to falter as time went on. The next
Mm-hmm.
era, being the 2010s, is arguably the worst era, and I am here to tell you why.
Obviously, bro.
But first, a little bit of backstory. In the early 90s, they introduced Doug, Rugrats, and The Ren and Stimpy Show. These three would become the first Nicktoons. They proved to be very popular, thus Nickelodeon choosing a cartoon-oriented path. Rocco's Modern Life, Cat Dog, Angry Beavers, Our Real Monsters, Hey Arnold, and The Wild Thornberrys were soon to follow. All of these cartoons were very successful and still remain icons today. They were original and wacky and had humor that hadn't been seen in cartoons before. These cartoons made up the 90s and is now known as the Golden Era. The next era was the SpongeBob era. SpongeBob was and still is their cash cow. So, a lot of their focus went to
Oh my
SpongeBob. The
god.
entirety of the 2000s was
Oh my god. In a way, SpongeBob kind of ruined Nickelodeon if you think about it, because if SpongeBob wasn't so successful, Nickelodeon wouldn't have paid attention to it and just neglected all the other cartoons, bro. Like this dominated 2010s era, bro. It was 80% of SpongeBob and 20% uh slop that no one wanted to watch. And even in 2010s, SpongeBob was at its worst, bro. Like some of the worst seasons, some of the worst episodes in the entire series came from the 2010s era. So, Nick was just garbage in 2010s, bro. That's why I was always watching Cartoon Network, bro.
plastered with the yellow square. Even with SpongeBob's success, there were a handful of cartoons that came out around this time that were still very good. The Fairly Odd Parents,
Mhm.
Jimmy Neutron, Danny Phantom, Invader
Mhm.
Zim, My
Mhm.
Life as a Teenage Robot,
Mhm.
Avatar, and Chalk Zone. The first half of the 2000s was basically a sequel to the 90s. Original cartoons, unique concepts and adventures, and very enjoyable to watch. The second half of the 2000s is where the decline began, but had not fully hit rock bottom. The shows they were making didn't necessarily drop in quality, but a lack in promotion and opportunity.
Yeah, it was buns, bro. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but then Fanboy and Chum Chum came in, and that show trash, bro. That show was buns, bro. That show came out the year I was born, bro. And I was like 2 years old. I saw an episode of it, and it was just nonstop screaming, bro, and a bunch of like CGI abominations on my screen, bro. I'm like, get this off my screen, dog. Like, bro.
Successful cousins like SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. These shows were Tack and the Power of Juju, El Tigre, The Mighty Bee, Cat Scratch, The X's, and Back at the Barnyard. Nickelodeon didn't really
Trash.
seem to give these shows a chance, and really only promoted the big shows that they knew would perform well. In the last year of the 2000s, a show would be released that I think truly begins the descent into the worst era. Fanboy
This
and
show
Chum
is
Chum. I know this dead
buns.
horse has been beaten so much it's just pulp now. It's trendy to hate on this show, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm simply bringing up the point that this show relied heavily on poop humor. I'm not criticizing it, but it does set in
You shouldn't
motion
be
a domino
criticizing it.
effect of terrible humor. I am now going to give an overview of all the Nicktoons during this decade. 17 different Nicktoons premiered in this decade, compared to 11 in the 90s and 17 in the 2000s. For the sake of the argument, I'm going to only go over actual Nicktoons, not every single animated show that aired this decade. So, for shows like Rabbids Invasion, that most certainly helps my argument, will not be talked about, as it is not categorized as a Nicktoon.
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, just like that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot.
The first new Nicktoon of the decade was Planet.
Planet Sheena. Why did they give Sheena a show, bro? He's not good enough to be a main character. They should have gave Carl a show, bro.
Planet Sheen, a super unnecessary spin-off to Jimmy Neutron. This spin-off was not well liked. Making side characters the main characters is usually a poor decision unless you're Saul Goodman. Sheen became overly annoying, the plots were too bizarre, in a bad way, and visually, the show wasn't the best thing Nick had to offer. Going back to the humor, it was definitely different. It wasn't like Jimmy Neutron. It was reminiscent of Fanboy and Chum Chum. The ratings gave validity to these claims, and Nickelodeon canceled the show after one season. The next Nicktoon was Tough Puppy. Being that it was created by Butch Hartman, the same guy that did Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, it couldn't have been all bad, right? Well, it wasn't, but you could definitely tell the shows were losing soul. I don't know how else to describe it than that. I get that I'm here to articulate my point with words, but this show feels like you took Fairly Odd Parents, drained the soul from it, and slapped on a spy theme. The next two shows are Winx Club and The Legend of Korra. They do not fit into the category of terrible. They are the very few diamonds in the rough of this decade. Robot and Monster is the next show, and it just brings more of the same. The show feels very empty, content-wise and visually. The humor this time isn't so much farting, but beating each other up and name-calling. There's nothing wrong with that humor, as it's probably the most common type of humor. But to have every joke based on it gets boring very fast. The 2012 TMNT is an all-around fine show. It gets the job done. I don't have any strong opinions on it.
Bro, what? Nah. This show was a banger, bro. Absolute banger. Best Teenage Mutant Ninja. Okay. They had some heat like this. This was peak, bro. This was absolute peak, bro. If you weren't watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this version, you had no childhood, bro. I'm sorry, bro. This is easily the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, bro. Out of all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shows, this is the best one.
Sanjay and Craig are guilty of being
Trash.
one of the worst on the network.
This is a regular show ripoff, bro. I swear, bro. They trying to beat Mordecai and Rigby so bad, bro.
I could make the argument that it is worse than Fanboy and Chum Chum. It's probably not, but it's very close. It relies only on fart humor. It's like you took the worst quality out of all the popular shows at the time and put it into one to make this show. It is just another show where a human and a non-human best friend duo go on really wacky adventures. Another thing this show has in common with all of the others that come after it is its hyperactivity. Fanboy and Chum Chum had it along with Tough Puppy, but it is right in your face with this show. Surely, this show is as bad as it gets.
Oh my god, man. This show was pure brain rot. It doesn't get worse than this, bro. I mean, look at them. Look at them. But look at how look at how much detail they put into the butt, bro. Yeah, it's nothing but butt and fart jokes, bro. But even more insane, bro.
Nickelodeon really said, let's take Sanjay and Craig and make it 100 times worse. This show is complete brain rot humor, if you can even call it humor. There are no real stories for episodes, just recycled junk you have seen before. Annoying characters. So much stuff to do with butts. It is absolutely unreal how this was created.
This is the overstimulation at its finest, bro. Like, this is like if you took Uncle Grandpa, but take away all their redeeming qualities, just a bunch of hyperactivity and no substance at all. Like, it's Uncle Grandpa, but not funny. That's this show, bro. This show is Uncle Grandpa, but not funny. Now, Uncle Grandpa pretty funny, but this, nah. Like, man, I remember watching this show so many times, bro. This show was so annoying, bro. Like, oh my god, bro. And they always talked about butts every episode, bro.
And then continued to be created. Look on the bright side. Breadwinners is the worst this decade gets. Harvey Beaks was a breath of fresh air. And then Pig, Goat, Banana, and Cricket released.
Oh my god, bro. No, bro. This is worse than Breadwinners. This is the worst one by far. Bro. This is the worst visual looking show I've ever seen from Nickelodeon. No, like the visuals are horrible, bro. What is that supposed to be a pig? This is the worst character design I've ever seen.
And you were right back into the mud.
Oh my god, bro. That is the goat.
More hyperactive, over-exaggerated.
Bro. Bro, that's supposed to be a banana that looks like a condom, bro. What is this, bro?
Animation slop. The Loud House is next. And
Okay, yeah, this show was peak, bro. See, it's hit or miss, bro. It's hit or miss, bro. It is hit or miss, bro. Like it's either peak or it's just like just like I don't know, bro. It's in a peak or it's just like horrible. But this show fell off too. Later, like later down the line, like the latest season of the show, are pretty mid. But the first two seasons were peak, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
And as it is still running to this day, it has proven to be a much better show than the others, even though I would argue the fart jokes and hyperactivity is definitely still present. Bunsen is a Beast, the fourth show by Butch Hartman.
Oh my god, this show is so bad, bruh. Butch Hartman just can't make good shows anymore, bro. It seems like he's lost his edge, bro. Bunsen is a beast.
Proved that it was more of what this decade has churned out. Yet again, a buddy duo where one is non-human and they go on way too wacky of adventures. Welcome to Wayne. It seems better than most. I can't give any personal anecdote as I've never seen this one. Online, the most common criticism is that it is a Gravity Falls ripoff. 2 days after Welcome to Wayne aired, Fairly Odd Parents was canceled. This now left SpongeBob and, well, nothing else really. At this point, no show besides SpongeBob had been airing for longer than a year or so, and their cash cow SpongeBob was getting worse and worse. Hang on, let me talk about that in a second. Let's finish off this decade. There are 4 Nicktoons left of the decade. Only one of them still falls into the hyperactive.
Oh my god, bro. Pinky Malinky, bro. This show is so painfully mid, bro. It's not as bad as the bad shows in this decade, but it most certainly isn't a good show. This show is so mid, bro. It has some good qualities to it, bro. Like visually, the show is not bad. Some of the jokes land, but ah, oh my god, this show is so painfully mid, bro.
Active poop humor category. The other three are reboots or spin-offs.
Bro, what is this, bro? Henry Danger. They made an animated Henry Danger show. Of course, I was gonna do bad, bro. You really took a trash sitcom and made an animated show out of it, bro. You're probably gonna be even worse. Then we got the Ronnie Yen show or whatever. Yeah, Ronnie Yen show, the Grandes, Casa Grandes, and then you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The other one, the lesser one.
This is the exact trend repeating itself. Let me explain. At the end of the 2000s, Fanboy and Chum Chum introduced the poop humor, and it continued all throughout the decade. Now these three shows, The Adventures of Kid Danger, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the Casa Grandes are all spin-offs and reboots. Now look at the 2020s so far. Almost 70% of the shows in the decade thus far are spin-offs, reboots, and licensed shows. It seems as if at the end of the decade they introduce shows that are indicative of what is to come in the following decade. Okay, now the decline of SpongeBob.
Yeah, bruh. The only show Nickelodeon seems to care about in this entire decade isn't even that good itself anymore. This ain't like SpongeBob was so painfully mid, bro. Like it wasn't bad. Like nah, the worst of SpongeBob wasn't even bad. It was mid, bro. Just a bunch of mid episodes churning out. And this was the best show they had to offer. Other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and then that's pretty much it, man. That's the only show I pretty much in the Loud House, I guess. There was nothing to watch. They kept churning out SpongeBob, bruh. Like this show wasn't falling off.
It's been talked about endlessly. They say it got bad after the first movie. Whatever. I'm not here to dispute anything. I'm here to say at this point SpongeBob was arguably just bad. Look up the worst episodes of SpongeBob. No, I'll do it for you. The consensus is that A Pal for Gary is the
there's a bunch of bad episodes in the show, but I don't think I'd say it as a whole the worst seasons of SpongeBob were bad because there were some bangers. But that's just what it is, bro. It was just mid.
worst. SpongeBob gets a new pet, and it tries to eat Gary. They literally rewrite SpongeBob to be dumber than usual to make the story work. Another terrible episode is One Course Meal, the episode where Mr. Krabs tortures and abuses Plankton, which is pretty out of character for Mr. Krabs. What's my point with this? These episodes came out in 2010. Most of the worst episodes came out in this decade. So not only were their new shows bad, but their legacy shows were too. Another point is the oversaturation.
Bro. There were so many live action shows in Nickelodeon, and not one of them was actually good. We had that sexist football show with the girl as a quarterback. We had Henry Danger, the Thundermans, and just a bunch of other bad shows, bro. I can't even name them right now because they're so freaking forgettable, bro.
Of live action shows. 29 live action shows premiered in this decade, but that's not all. There were other shows that didn't premiere in the 2010s, but were still airing new episodes, making the total 33.
Oh my god. Okay, iCarly was a banger. Victorious, pretty good. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. I grew up with Fred the Show. Bro. What a terrible time to be alive. Fred the Show is by far the worst thing I've ever seen on television, bro. It is worse than the Breadwinners. It is worse than Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket, or whatever. It is worse than anything I've ever seen, bro. How is this even a show? Nah, freak this video, bro. I need y'all to sit and watch Fred the Show, bro, and tell me this junk is good, bro. Hold on. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I need y'all to see. I need y'all to see this, bro. Y'all can't tell me this show wasn't the worst show. It was pure ear rape, bro. This dude Lucas was screaming at the top of his lungs. Like, what is wrong with this man? Like, it's so overstimulating. It's just garbage, bro. Like, they cut the camera so many times, bro. You have to have no attention span whatsoever to think this is good, bro. But yeah, let me stop yapping, bro. Acting like this show was peak, bro. It's only half the episode, bro. It's only half the episode, bro. But we gonna watch it, bro.
Hi guys, it's Fred! Down, boy, down! If it looks like I've been up all night trying to find a science fair project, it's because I have! I still haven't found anything yet! There has to be something sciencey in here. Are you in there, science? Where are you, science? Come out, wherever you are! Science! Where are you? Where is it? This isn't funny, science! I will find you, science! And I will also look where I'm going. I cannot believe Miss Kovacs making us come up with an experiment for our class science fair. I mean, that is totally science unfair.
She gave us 8 weeks.
Yeah, and all I came up with was a rubber pencil trick.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty dumb to go with that idea.
Hey! Whoa! What do you think you guys are doing stealing my science fair project? Don't even. Rubber pencil's mine. Keys. I mean, whatever, man. It was working last night. Yours is clearly broken.
Yeah, it's so broken. Oh my gosh, Kevin, pencils don't grow on trees.
Whoa, that backpack's looking a little heavy there. Hey, I hope it doesn't get any heavier.
Ooh, man, this bully is trash.
Grow up.
That's why I have this ergonomical
Grow up,
wheelie
Fred.
backpack.
Oh my god.
Feel around, just feel it out. Yeah? I could dance with it, you know? That's how I roll.
I thought I told you this is my hallway, Kevin.
So bad.
You and your dancing backpack. Back!
Okay. Yeah. In a class, I have to.
I love messing with that guy.
Who is that girl?
Nicolette, the new girl, and apparently Kevin's new bully.
I think I'm in love.
My dear Fred, do you fancy a spot of cheese fries?
Oh, love, when do I not?
Let's then.
Yes, Master Figglehorn.
The lady and I would like cheese fries out on the veranda.
Yeah, well, whatever, Fred. I don't have to do that.
A girl who bullies Kevin? Be still, my heart.
I don't think you should get too...
I'm gonna go talk to her.
Oh, okay.
So, come to this school often? You know, I'm usually not this forward, but you are the most beautiful, elegant, refined, amazing creature I have ever met.
What is this?
Are you okay?
Oh, it smells like
No,
love.
he's not okay.
Honey mustard pretzels. Oh, Nicolette. I love the way that rolls off the tongue. Nicolette. 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 Yeah, like that. But once Nicolette finds out that I don't have a science fair project, she'll never want to date me. I gotta think of something fast. Ew! Wait, this is perfect for my science fair project! Yay!
Why is she eating that?
Mama!
What? Do you want some?
That was for my science fair project! Plus, it's moldy!
Sorry, I thought it was cheese.
Now I don't have a science fair project to
So his mom's stupid too. How do you not taste the mold? How do you not look at the mold? Why are you just randomly taking a bite out of a sandwich, man? What is this show? See, y'all see what I'm talking about, right? This show is trash.
Nicolette.
Freddie, no girl is going to be impressed by a science fair project. Unless, of course, it's a love potion. And you dump it over her head. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go have my stomach pumped.
That's it! I'll make a love potion for Nicolette. And then I'll get an A and the girl. Nicolette by the ocean with my lovey-dovey ocean.
Shut up!
It's done. Now to test Note. Also attracts wild dogs.
With every little breath, everything is feeling so right, so good.
Note. Causes uncontrollable hiccups. Hey, little guys. I figure since you're all living together, you might as well be in love. Note. Can also be used as ant spray.
Get away from my roses, young man.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Haberstan. It's just that they're blacky.
What is the awful smell? Oh, Fred. If I knew you were coming, I would have worn my best house coat. Oh, take all the roses that you need.
It works. So, Nicolette, what's your experiment?
What's your experiment?
It's actually easier if I show you.
Okay.
Here goes nothing.
Oh, drop my pencil.
Why are you closing his eyes?
What are you doing? Back those lips up, Angelina.
Oh no, it didn't work. What am I gonna do now?
Hi, Fred.
What do you want, Kevin?
Nothing. Just wanted to say that I love you and your antics and goofy little voice. I don't know. Do you want to go camping?
No, Kevin, you're weird. Get
I've
away.
ever
That's
seen.
Wiggly Wiggly. I'm gonna write you a poem.
What?
He was a sweetie at heart. Hi, Kevin.
Ah, don't hurt me!
I'm not gonna hurt you! Silly. I just wanted to say I'm sorry that I picked on you. We should be friends.
What? How was is that even possible? The love potion I made for Nicolette made her like Kevin? Ugh!
Perfume. Hello, Skelly.
F is for the fantastic things you say. R is for the way you rock. E is for everything that I like about you. And D is for... Well, D... Dude. What am I doing? What are you doing to me, dude?
I didn't do anything, Kevin. You're the one acting weird.
I don't know what kind of spell you had me under, but it's going to spell T-R-U-B-L for you.
Knock it off, Kevin! Yeah, I thought you had changed!
I must have accidentally sprayed the potion on Kevin. So that means the potion does work. Where did it go?
Ants can actually hold 10 times the amount of them. My rare poisonous ants!
Poisonous ants?
Poisonous ants!
Why am I making out with a skeleton? Oh no!
Who wrote this show? A bunch of angry chimpanzees? Bro. No way a human wrote this show, bro. No way a human wrote this show, bro.
You always have a science project double this ant spray!
My luck potion kills ants. I only have enough left to use it to make Nicolette fall in love with me. But if I use it on Nicolette and not the ants, everyone in the class is gonna die!
Like they're poisonous and everything.
Help, Fred!
Help!
Out of my way!
Say goodbye to your little friends.
And the ants are dead!
Okay. Well, that's enough excitement for today. Everyone gets an A on their science fair projects.
You know, I can make another batch of this if you want.
Don't even think about it.
I'm glad he got rejected. Man. That show was so bad. Oh my god, man. That show was so bad, bro. I don't even have words to describe how bad that was. An atrocity, bro. Like, how do you, bro? How do you expect people to take this seriously, bro? This show is so bad, bro. Bro. Let me see if Fred the show ratings, bro. Because there's no way. A 2.2 out of 10. 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. What? 78% on what, bro? Bro, who made that, bro? It needs to have a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. This show is garbage. No. Fred the movie? They made Fred the movie. No way they made Fred the movie. Bro, no way, bro. No way, no freaking way. Bro, you guys are not gonna believe this, bro. You guys are not gonna believe this, bro. Look at this. Fred the movie. Okay, we have Fred the movie. Bro. There's sequels? John Cena? Bro, what in the world? John Cena. Why is John Cena here, bro? No. There is no way. Fred 3. Why does this movie, how does this show have a movie and that movie have 2 sequels? There's a whole franchise of Fred. And John Cena's in this one too. One a piece. Oh my god, bro. Who allowed this to happen, bro? Whoever made these movies needs to be fired ASAP, bro. These movies are so bad. And I haven't even watched them yet, but I know for a fact these movies are bad. I can barely even handle Fred for 10 minutes, let alone 1 hour and 21 minutes. Like, get out of here with that, bro. Bro, no. Who thought it was a good idea? Who was the director for Fred the Show, man? Nah. Oh my! I cannot type. These guys, Jonathan Judge, Lance W. Lanphier, and Dave Payne, fire them, bro. They should have been fired, bro. Who is Jonathan Judge, bro? That's what I'm looking at first, bro. He was a director for All That and Young Sheldon. And this is the same dude that directed Fred the Show. This can't be real, bro. This can't be real, bro. He directed All That. Young Sheldon. And this is the same dude that made Fred the Show. Get out of here, man. There is no way. There is no way. Nah, this is crazy, man. I don't know what to say, bro. Bro, we got so off topic, bro. Talking about Fred the Show, bro. But yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it, bro. Bye-bye.